Hello, welcome back. Good news. I'm in a Volvo. I am in a, geez, this is a long one. Volvo XC60 T5 R, Polestar, and I forget what else. The other badges on it. It's my sister's car, and when I was looking for SUVs, I was really hoping to find a nice used XC60. But then she told me the trouble they had finding finding this one. Actually, it had to be either our thing. It had to have the Polestar. It had to have all the stuff. Anyways, is what they're after. Tinted windows. They waited a couple of years, I think, looking specifically for this car. And I told about their story in, I think, the car washing video, where they found it, and low kilometers. It was in perfect condition outside, and when they looked on the inside, it was a complete disaster. It was full of mud. Buddy had garbage everywhere. They had a kid they were feeding in the back seat. They had to take out the seats actually to clean the car properly to like brand new. But they bought the car from the guy. He wanted to. He couldn't afford it anymore. So I'm just taking this around and doing a loop. But he was on a lease thing. Couldn't afford it anymore, and he gave up. He made a deal with them to get out of the lease basically, and then they took it over. And you know what? I'm actually going to do this here. I'm going to do this here in the middle of the road. Like, this actually was one of the cars that I was really hoping for. Used. Brand new, they're ridiculously priced, of course. Why Volvos? Because Volvos have beautiful interiors. They have since the XC90 came out. And after that, all Volvos had beautiful, beautiful interiors. Just going to grab the camera. You know, the dash stuff. This does have two blanked out buttons. They also have the nav display in the cluster, which is cool. I'm on gravel. Clean zone. I don't know how to use any of this. I don't know, Bowers and Wilkins sound system. And it's clean. Like, there's not a lot of fluff on the inside. The seats are really nice. They're super comfortable. Um, when I get, I'll show you the driver's side. And no, the back. And I've made mention of, the polished plastic in cars nowadays. You got to be super careful with this stuff. I have a little bit in mind, but yeah, I'm just gonna get out. The driver's seat does all the extensions. It's really comfortable. It's got the Alcantara on the inside, inserts or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, R design. That's what it is. R design. It's roomy. Usually you lift. No, we gotta do it from the back. Cubbies within cubbies. I love it. IKEA cars, man. They're cool. Let's see here. Maybe I should pop the hood. Now, when you got the key fob on, it doesn't honk at you. It does a little chime. And you can't see nothing. Yeah, I like these cars. Let's see what it looks like from far away. And a donut. Yeah, these cars, I don't know. There's just something about the European cars. Like, they're kind of laid out. Maybe because I grew up on European cars, how the controls and everything work. They're intuitive. Well, for me, I get into American cars and it's like they all want to do something different. There's nothing kind of standardized. And it kind of weirds me out. But like these cars are really nice. And you get into a Chevy or an equivalent, you're probably only liking Chevys because you grew up on them and you believe the hype. She does have problems with this. Like the latest, the one here that's an ongoing problem is there's a backup auxiliary battery and there's a main battery. And once that backup battery goes, it's a lot of money to fix and it's not necessary, but it does leave an error code in the car. She's talked to me about it before, and she looked it up on the interwebs, and everybody says to just leave it, let it die, and leave it. It doesn't do anything for the car. It's too expensive to fix, and it doesn't do anything anyway. And all it ever does is leave the error code up, and it doesn't affect the operation of the vehicle in any way. Is this about the size of my Hornet inside? Probably. Probably. I know there's more room in the Cherokee for some reason. Maybe the back seats are better. There's more room in the back seats for sure. Yeah, I'm not tearing around in it or anything. She had it over, and there was somebody in the comments who was also looking for an XC60. And I've always liked the vehicle after the redesign. I thought, hey, because I like small cars. I'm a small car fan. And when this came out, I'm like, ooh, nice little Volvo hatchback SUV, if you want to call it. Because really, my Hornet is basically all small SUVs are basically hyped up small hatchbacks. Let's do something illegal. Paddle shifters. She uses this to basically drive around her, get groceries, and pick up and drop off her sons. But it's in Alberta. So in the wintertime, this thing is actually useful. Because when you get the big snows, your front street never gets cleared right away, and life still goes on. They don't have snow days here. Even if it snowed 4 feet and it was minus 45 outside, everybody would still have to go to work. And yeah, like I said, I've always liked Volvos. I had one old one by my, a long time ago, and I loved it. But now they are very complicated. Like I said, she's got she's got how do you undo? Okay, that takes some getting used to. Sunshade. Okay, very nice interior. Very simple controls. Like if you saw what was going on here, it's all the screen. There's very simple buttons down here at the bottom. Engine start stop, drive mode. How many drive modes are there? I have eco, comfort, individual, personal driving preferences, Polestar engineered. Wow. And then off road for rough road. I think when these were brand new, they were like 70,000, 60. Well, this one would have been well into the 70s. Brand new. Absolutely. This would have been pretty close in there. Well, it's a 2018 though, right? And back then, dealers weren't overinflating prices. And there is quality here. You're not trying to, they're not passing off junk for high prices. Yeah. There's the Volvo XC60 T6 R, what is it? R design. Very nice car. And like the same thing. You touch things. Well, I love the steering wheel. I really like the steering wheel. It's a nice, big, thick steering wheel. There is something about having a nice steering wheel. I could probably make a video on that on itself. Seats are super comfortable, super adjustable. Yeah, I don't know. I so much prefer European cars over domestics. I really do. They're a step above even Japanese. The reliability isn't there, but the styling always is, and so is the engineering. It's always been like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. European cars have their lemons, of course, but even their lemons drive better than most domestics, most reliable domestics. And it's I don't know. When I was in Europe, People know to drive, they know how to drive, they like driving. Um, Traffic is geared around drivers for driving, and there seems to be a culture for it. Whereas here in North America, yes, there is a culture of cars and things like that, but it's not the same because they don't build the cars the same. Maybe until recently, maybe until the last couple of decades, but still, you take any European car, well, domestics, look at my Dodge. It's Italian. I love my domestic car. I love it. It's a Dodge. It's a 100% Italian. I sat in a domestic car built, yeah, as a domestic by domestic people, and yeah, I really didn't like them. You know, I mean, Japanese is fine. Like the Mazda would have been fine. A RAV4 would have been fine. A CRV would have been fine. A Nissan Rogue would have been a big mistake. Mitsubishi, the Outlander. I don't know those new ones came out. I didn't like them. They were so big. They got tiny motors in them. And then they came out with that Eclipse Cross, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess so. But even those, I didn't like. The styling and stuff wasn't there for me. It's weird. It's really weird. Cars are a mishmash nowadays. But I'll say this Volvo is still a Volvo. You know, they didn't take something from somewhere else and then rebadge it and say, hey, this is now Swedish. So Swedish, they got to put the flag on the seat to remind you that it's Swedish. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe. If you've got one of these and there's somebody looking to buy one of these, leave something in the comments of things to like watch out for, or regular problems that these things have overall, like some big expense thing that you should be looking for down the road. Because what is she at here? We're at 64 6,400 kilometers. The next oil change is 68,000. Yeah, so no, 68,000. What the fuck is going on here? Oh no, no, that's the no. Okay, so she's at 68,000 kilometers, and there's 6,400. No, that can't be right for the next oil change. Are the oil changes 12,000 kilometers apart? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know the car. I know Volvo likes to keep everything Volvo. Even the sound system is Volvo specific, and the components are Volvo specific. And that's kind of the thing with European cars, I guess. I know BMWs were like that too. Had to have BMW specific parts and OEM. You couldn't put any Chinese stuff in it because even with the OEM, they still broke down. Couldn't imagine putting Chinese parts in it. Yeah, like and subscribe. Uh, if you have one of these or you bought one of these, and leave something in the comments for people who have clicked on this video because they want to see the XC60 T5, R line, whatever it is, common problems, so they know what to look out for when they're buying these, right? That would be super helpful to somebody who's scrolling through the video who chances on it, sort of thing. All right, that would be a great help. Um, really appreciate you watching if you're here still this long, and see you in the next one.